February 16, 2006, West Indies played their first ever T20 international and it was against New Zealand in Auckland. They lost the match on the bowlout after the match was tied at the end of 20 overs. Now, Chris Gayle and Dwayne Bravo are the only two active international players from that playing 11. 14 years later, a different group returned to play at Auckland with one goal, winning T20 international series in New Zealand. After the match in 2006, they returned for 3 more tours and lost 2 and drew the other. Their lone win out of 8 T20 internationals in New Zealand came December 2008. Chris Gayle was man of the match as New Zealand's 155 for 7 was met with 155 for 8 by West Indies. Currently Blizzov's captain, Kieron Pollard, made 7 and took 1 wicket in that match. 12 years later, he now returns with a chance to change history, a chance to continue on a winning path on the road to World T20 title defense next year in India. In March, they toured Sri Lanka and won both T20s. But despite 2 World T20 titles, they languished 9th on the rankings, and it seems from them not being able to field their best 11 during most bilateral series is the factor. Gayle, Russell, Lendl Simmons, Evan Lewis and Sunil Narine are absent for varying reasons, but the reserves are quite talented in their own right. Looking at both squads, on paper, the Caribbean side are certainly possessing the quality needed to win this 3-match series. I anticipate the West Indies playing 11 for this first match will be Brandon King, Andre Fletcher, Shimon Hetmeyer, Nicholas Pooran, Kieron Pollard, Ruffman Powell, Fabian Allen, Kemo Paul, Romero Shepherd, Hayden Walsh Jr. and Sheldon Cottrell. Without a doubt, the southpaws of Hetmeyer and Pooran will be asked to lay some solid batting foundation for West Indies, for the big bashers as Pollard and Allen to come on what are usually short straight boundaries. However, most of the grounds in New Zealand are quite open and the win factor is always the case square of the wicket. Paul is expected to be Pollard's go-to man on the death overs, and it will be interesting to see how well he can use his bag of tricks and slow balls and services, which are generally great for batting. Now, leg spinner Hayden Walsh, who did not have the best of CPLs, will want to show good consistency. If Sunil Narine is available, he will be hard-pressed to keep his place. New Zealand has opted to rest their seasoned pros such as Trent Boult and Kane Williamson. Tim Southee, who will captain, will only lead for the first 2 matches, after which Mitchell Santner takes over. They have gone with the route of exposing new players. Out of that unknown, potentially possesses a new challenge for West Indies. Though many lack the experience and exposure, as most of the West Indians, they are playing in home conditions. Ross Taylor seems an ageless character, and while he did not have the best of outings in this year's CPL, the fresher faces in New Zealand and fresher pitches could help him. There's also solid support from the likes of Martin Guptill, Sodhi, Jimmy Neesham and Glenn Phillips. Just like the West Indies, some of New Zealand's T20 players cleared quarantine only on the eve of this contest. It is hard to assume what will be their playing 11, since they are out in a rotation policy of player management. History makes New Zealand favourites, but experience and power makes the West Indies genuine contenders. Who will come out on top? We'll have to wait until 2 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time on Friday, November 27, for that answer.